study about the different drug, its cultivation, collection, identification, and processing, preservation, commerce, right, marketing, and all those things. So today we are going to discuss about the history. His, history means what is the contributors like Hippocrates. Hippocrates is known as father of medicine. Galen, he is known as first pharmacist in the world. Aristotle, father of natural history. Like that, there are many contributor or scientists we can say those who have told about the different medicinal plants or different crude drugs at different time. Okay, so here I'm just divided the what do you call history in a different category, right? So first I'll discuss about the prehistory. The first or beginning of prehistory on use of medicinal plants, or herbs or any animal products like thyroxine. Yesterday I told you the example, and the place where and how used were not well known. So till now we are aware or we are having the information. Before that also there was the prehistory. His before the history. Prehistory means before the history also there was so many medicinal plants or herbs or animals has been used, but there is no record in generally when we are searching for the history. What we are doing nowadays, when we are going for history, we are searching either the book or we are browsing the internet, or we are just trying to go to the some particular location and interrogating, like. So in the term of pharmacognosy or in the term of medicinal plant, in prehistory, the different types of herbs and animal products, where and how they used, were not well known, and those information were unwritten for a long time, because there at that time there was no text. What the letter, the word, now what, when we are going into any language like A B C D or whatever, the different letters will be there by combining. So there was no letter, only oral communication used to be there. So just and the name also they used to tell some other types of pronunciation in their own language, what the terminology they used to use. So that record is not available, unwritten, because of it is unwritten for the long time. Even we don't know the how long. When the earth found the existence of the life, after the existence of there is a talk that previously there used to be dinosaur, or then human beings came, and in different religion there are different talks, right? So it was when the human beings found their presence in the earth, they started using the plant materials or animals for their food purpose, at least for first. Then they started using the for the cloth and shelter. Then they started using the plant materials or animal products or animals for the food only first. Then they started recognizing that this particular plant may have some activity. Suppose they anybody is suffering from fever, so previously the fever will go away automatically by its own. Then some people, this was the guess only, some people they started recognizing that this particular plant leaves decoction, not decoction, leaves, just crushing the leaves and chew the leaves, you may get relief from fever. Like that they started recognizing. Then they started using also those plant materials or those animal materials, but they were using, and there used to be the only oral communication. It was not in the text or in the book, or forget about the all electronic device, right? So as a result, the prehistory on herb was almost lost. So that's what, because of the oral communication, no recording or no capturing the things, the information about the medicinal plant or animal or mineral into the textbook or into the treatise or book or any device forget about, but there was no record, let me say, right? So there was no record. So because of the lack of record, what happened, this everything was lost, and it has gone. But however, in second line, however, some information was recorded by oral transmission from generation to generation, right? So oral transmission means, suppose now also, when our grandmother or grandfather, they were knowing about some plant or some leaf, this is the leaf, we can say as a green leaf, we can eat as a green leaf, or it is effective into the headache or fever or cold, but even though we don't know about its scientific details in the by the textbook, then also you might be knowing about the this particular plant is the having the effect from the relief from the cold or fever, right? So like that, the grandfather will be telling to their grandchildren, and the same thing will be kept into the mind by knowingly its oral name, and these generation will be using the same plant, same animals for the treatment of the different disease and disorder. Then it will be by the another generation, their children's, their grandchildren's, then like that orally it used to come, not by the text or not by the any other storage of the information, right? So this is the prehistory. Next, coming to the history, actually history, it is divided into the different religion wise or different reason wise, both. So it is divided into the six category. Generally in any textbook, if you go, you will get the six category of the written history, which the information is still we have in database. So when we talk about the written history, it has originated, which was based on reason, religion, and culture. Reason, religion, and culture. So, now also you might have studied the history in your schools, like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa's culture, and all that this Akbar, Babur, Humayun, right? All the Mughals and Nizams, right? So there also you might be getting the so many information about the medicines and the medical science. So let us discuss in this six category in the religion wise. The written history was divided into the following. The first one, Western medicine. What, who were the contributor in Western area, Western countries, and what was the drugs they were using. Second one, Unani. Now also Unani, it is in the practice. It came from the Islam, right? So now also Unani medicines, it is available, like Tadbir, all massage, Taila, right? So many Unani medicines like oils are available, right? Third one, Ayurveda. It is the Indian system of medicine, Ayurvedic system of medicine. You might have used the Ayurvedic medicines, right? So what is the history actually? Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, all those things. What was the contributors? The Orient. The fifth one, the Greek history, and the sixth one, African system, right? So like that, six in the sixth point, we are going to discuss the history of pharmacognosy. So let us start with the first one. The first one, it is uh, Western medicine. So the Western medicine, this is originated in Mesopotamia and Egypt. Okay, all of you can see the slide. this is originated in Mesopotamia and Egypt. So what is Mesopotamia? Generally, you might have seen that in the Discovery or in the Epic channels or in the any of the channel or book, that some information will be given into the rock or soil or some wall or somewhere, some particular types of text, some particular types of images or pictures that will be indicating something about the plant, animal, or medicines, or drug, or cure, right? So Mesopotamia is considered as the first origin of human civilization, right? It is, see, all many things are only in consideration. We cannot say 100% because we don't have the proper proof or evidence, right? So it is considered that Mesopotamia was first origin of the human civilization. The Sumerians, those are the peoples of ancient Mesopotamia, developed the cuneiform tablet of herbal medicine, the first, right? The cuneiform form of the tablet of the herbal medicine, different types of herbs they added, and the tablet means it was just feel like, right, those tablets is preserved in British Museum now also. If you'll go to the UK or somewhere, so in that museum this particular whatever the herbal medicine, it was prepared by the Mesopotamians, who was considered as a first civilization, human civilization. That is now also you can see that how they were prepared first tablet and for the herbal medicine, and still it is there in the museum, right? So they used to use that one. In Egypt, the information had written in a paper. The first time it was came into the paper, right? That was the great thing actually in the history, that something has come in the, because if when it is in the paper or in some media, it can transform to generation without any difficulty. In oral, there may be the chances of miscommunication, or maybe you may get the wrong information, but when it is in the text, you can have the proper exact information. So the information had written on the paper, that is known as papyrus ebers, papyrus, ebers, papyrus ebers, 1600 before Christ, 1600 before Christ. It consisted of 800 prescriptions, monitoring 700 drugs. So in that papyrus ebers, which is the one of the treatise, or we can say the book, right? There they mentioned, in Egypt they mentioned 800 prescription means generally when you are suffering from fever, what is the plant supposed to have in what quantity, right? That monitoring is 700 different types of drugs, which is the very great achievement actually, because at that time 700 drugs getting means it covering almost all the plant kingdom and animal kingdom, we can say, right? So that is the, you should remember this name, because this is important and it may come into the uh, multiple choice if you are going for the any competitive exam. Papyrus ebers, right, 1600 BC was the written on the paper. Then third line I am reading in the Western medicine history, the first pharmacopoeia, named London Pharmacopoeia, was published in 1618, and then British Pharmacopoeia was published in 1864, right? So that London Pharmacopoeia, actually it was published long back 1618, right? And later on, that only after so many manipulation, edition, deletion, it published after 200 years, almost 1864. That is known as British Pharmacopoeia, which is now also it is existing. like IP, BP, USP, you know that different pharmacopoeia, Indian pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia, United States pharmacopoeia, right? Pharmacopoeial index. So this all comes under the Western medicine. So next one, which we are going to discuss under the history of pharmacognosy, that is Unani, Unani medicine, right? Unani system of medicine. Abu Bakr, who taken this first time in India. Actually, it is Arabian practice, right? But in India, it is very much popular, and right from the beginning itself, because of the Mughal emperors and the Nizams, and even Hindus also, they used to use, and now also it is in the practice. So let us see the contribution of the Unani. This herbal system was developed by Arabian Muslims Ibn Sina 980 to 1037 AD. Right, at that time, it was developed by those Muslim, that Arabian or Saudi Arab or Arab cultures. So first they started using this, right? And Ibn Sina, he was the prince and ruler, because he only published this one first. He was a very brilliant pharmacist. We are regarding now pharmacist, because at that time there was no word pharmacist. But now for understanding purpose, we are using that he was very brilliant pharmacist and physician, right? Who wrote a book that is known as Kitab al-Shifa. Now also it is available in the library, which is known as Kitab al-Shifa, means book of healing. Any types of, because healing is very important, right? So whatever the medicine they compiled in that kitab means book, right? Kitab al Shifa, that was related to healing, maybe cell healing, wound healing, fever healing. But means it is the word that they have given, it doesn't mean just don't go into the wordial meaning. The healing, book of healing, the book was written on Arabic language. That time, the book still it is available in another language also. The book was written on Arabic language. This is a great contribution of Ibn Sina on medical and pharmaceutical science, right? So that was the origin or source, we can say, Kitab al-Shifa, that all the Unani research and development has been done by the taking of that book as a source of the information. And now we have a lot of medicine and medication in Unani system of medicine, right? So that was the contribution which is coming from the Arabic culture or Arabian culture. Then third one, what we are going to discuss, which is there in our Indian system of medicine, that is Ayurveda, right? Ayurvedic system of medicine, it is the Indian system of medicine, which is 2500 to 600 BC, right? From that time it came into the existence. Ayurveda is the term of traditional medicine of ancient India, right? So when we talk about the what is the meaning of Ayurveda, the word Ayur means life, and the Veda means the study of. So in combinedly we can say that is study of life. So what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda means study of life, right? See, the Ayurvedic writings were divided into three systems: Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, and Ashtanga Samhita. Right. So I will tell you later on what Charak Samhita, what compilation is there. The oldest writing was Charak Samhita, which is 6 to 7 century before Christ. And the book describes use of many metallic drugs like iron, mercury, sulfur, copper, etc. with herbs. So the metal they are using with the herbs, then they are getting now in Siddha system of medicine also they are using mercury, gold, arsenic. So in Ayurveda also these four they have mentioned iron, mercury, sulfur, and copper. These metals they used to mix with the herbs, and it was in the practice in the treatment, right? So this is the Ayurvedic system of medicine, which is there in the our Indian system of medicine in the history. I will take you in the details. The Orient, the next one, the Orient, 2700 BC. This is the originated from Chinese, Japanese, and Tibet. The Orient herbalism was very old, 142 to 220 BC. Right, 142 means you can just imagine. Right now we are in 20th century. Right, so it's how many hundred years ago, and called Campo. The written documents were made by the king Sen Nag. You should remember once again this name. The written documents were made by the Sen Nag 2700 BC and Sang 1766 to 1122 BC. Right. So Sen Nag was the emperor who written this, given the first document in their countries. Sen Nag investigated medicinal value of several herbs and written a book that is called Pen Tea Sao or Native Herbal. Right. So here in this slide you should remember two things: Sen Nag and Pen Tea Sao. Sen Nag is the name of the emperor or the king who written the book or treatise. The name of that book is Pen Tea Sao. Right. The name of that book is Pen Tea Sao. So that was the contribution which we mentioned the many types of medicine at that time. Next one is the Greek history. Pharmacognosy in the some of the earlier naturalists or scientists and physicians who contributed enormously to the development of human knowledge about medicinal plants, including followings. Right, so some scientist name we are going to discuss here in Greek history. Hippocrates, very important this one, who is known as father of medicine, because since we are in pharmacy PharmD background, we are supposed to know first of all that who is father of medicine, because we are studying medicine. So father of medicine, at least we are supposed to know compulsory. So Hippocrates, he is regarded as a father of medicine. He worked 460 to 370 BC. When 460 to 370 BC, he was the first natural doctor who utilized simple remedies such as vinegar, honey, herbs in healing. He is also known to have collected and identified a number of medicinal plants. Right? He was the first natural doctor. Now we can see there are so many naturopathy, right? So first natural doctor means, anyway that time there was no research, no development, no proper types of extraction, isolation, chromatography, these that. So he is the person who told first that whatever the cure we are getting from the any plant material or animal material, that is because of presence of chemical constituents. It is not a magic. Previously the people used to think that if any person is identified as a Vaidya or Hakim or let me use the word doctor at that time in that civilization. I'm talking about the 460 to 370 BC. So people used to go to the particular person for the treatment of the cure of disease and disorder. So the person, that particular person who is known as a doctor or Vaidya, he used to prescribe some plant leaf, crushing of the plant leaves or decoction of the plant leaf, some churna, some powder, right? Obtained from different roots, stem, bark, fruit, flower. So people used to think that he knows some kind of magic. He is the god person, and he is having some supernatural power, like that they used to think, and only he is the person can make us the relief from the disease and disorder, like that they used to think. Then when Hippocrates came, he told that no, it is not like that. The plant, this is the plant, if it is identified to cure from the cold or cough, if anybody can take it, and if they will use in the proper quantity, you will also get the relief from the cold and cough. It is not magic. It the behind this there is science. He told first. He also known to have the collected and identified the number of medicinal plants. He told right. So then Aristotle 384 to 322 BC. He gave the philosophy of medicine. He listed more than 500 plants of medicinal importance. Then Theophrastus, that is known as the father of botany, 340 BC. He gave scientific basis of use of the plants as medicines, right? See, this particular plant is having medicinal value, like that's what he is regarded as a father of botany. Galen, 131 to 200 AD, a Greek pharmacist or physician. He developed the method of preparing and compounding medicines by medicinal means. He was the originator of the formula for the cold cream. Galen is also regarded as a first pharmacist of the world, right? He told the importance of the extraction. If you use directly the plant material, you may get the relief. But if you extract that by using some solvent means water only used to be there at that time. So if you'll take the decoction of that particular plant material, you may get the more relief from the particular problem. He only told the first, right? So this is the history we have done here, right? So next we'll discuss about the further history part that I will tell you in the next class. So here I am concluding the class. So if you have, let me talk that all of you there with me or not, or simply I am taking, anybody can answer. Hello, you people are listening, no? Or simply I am teaching for last half an hour. Okay, so uh, you understood the things. That slides you are saving, no? You save those slides, and later on I will provide you the material for the brief knowledge. Okay, let me complete the first topics, then I will provide you the notes and all those things. Here you just try to understand the things.